Here comes the sun, do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, the smiles returning to their faces. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Sun, 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 here it comes. 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 Little darling, the smiles returning to their faces. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been clear. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Here comes the sun, do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. It's alright.
Good evening. Welcome graduates, families, parents and guardians, faculty and guests. My name is Tammy Beatty, and it is my privilege to serve as the acting principal of McNally High School. Although we are gathered here virtually today to celebrate you, our graduates from McNally High School and Academy of King Edward know that we are congratulating you in person for all of your many accomplishments and achievements. You have worked hard to get here, and you have earned this recognition. I would like to introduce Ms. Shandoa Vivian Bigstone to start off our evening with our Treaty 6 land acknowledgement.
We acknowledge that we are in Treaty 6 territory, a traditional meetings ground, gathering place, and traveling route to the Cree, Saulteaux, Blackfoot, Métis, Dene, and Dakota Sioux. We acknowledge all the many great First Nations, Métis, and Inuits whose footsteps have marked these lands for centuries on Turtle Island. Inistawe Uyatak Inua Ota Eheyak Nisto Wasik Dipa Hamiuto Niwa Askia Tasi Keyas Mima Wiyawin Ike Mima Winitok Ita Ikiminomok Ta Huchik Newayawak Na Winawak Kaskitawe Asit Otipichi Mosio Wak Wisi We Winawak Ikwa Asini Wepa Watikopa Kinista Uyekana Kakina Eyinewak Otipichi Misowak Ikwa Inuit Ota Kapichi Hayo Wachik Ohe Askia Bisinewe. What I just said there in my native language in Cree was the Treaty 6 acknowledgement. Thank you, Nanan Skotanan.
The first quote that came to my mind as I thought of the class of 2021 is from my hero, Kermit the Frog. It's not easy being green. Sometimes you wish you could be red or yellow or gold or something much more colorful like that. It seems that you blend in with so many other ordinary things. You, the class of 2021, have proven why it's not easy being green, because it isn't easy growing up during a pandemic, wearing masks and only seeing smiling eyes, sanitizing your hands over and over again, not being able to visit with your friends at each other's lockers or homes. You may have fallen into the same routine or started to feel like you're blending into a sea of masks and daily statistics. Regardless, you have risen to the challenges presented before you, and you have chosen to persevere. You have worked tirelessly to get here. Even though diplomas were made optional this year, you continue to study hard, collaborate on various group projects through Google Meets, and sometimes even worked late into the night to finish your assignments. You then woke up early in the morning, but remained in your pajama bottoms to learn from home because you were sent there for your own safety. Class of 2021, you are a very special group to me because looking back in time, I realized that my first day at McNally was also the same day as your first day. I welcomed you to our school as you welcomed me. I remember when you entered our halls for the first time as bright, new, shiny grade 10 students. When we first welcomed you into our gym, home of the Tigers, you seemed a little timid when we as a faculty asked you, how will you carry on the McNally legacy? We are so proud of how you've answered this question through your perseverance and sacrifice. Prior to the pandemic, you worked together and organized events to raise money during activities like our Walk for Water campaign and through traditional events like Bike-a-thon or H-Fest. These past 16 months, you innovated and discovered new ways to stay true to your vision and create your own legacy. Although traditions are important, you have created new ways to do things and adapt and connect to each other. You found ways to safely and virtually participate together, or you stayed at least 2 meters apart to raise money for good causes. You used your creative talents to reinvent what had always been done here before. You made Monday announcements engaging with guest speakers and your playful puns and jokes. You met on Google Classrooms for a variety of extracurricular activities such as Club Creative. You reinvented Bike-a-thon and Walk for Water to build new memories and traditions, and even brought home the LOL Cup with our esports team. As much as you may have learned from us, know that we have learned so much more from you. You taught us that great schools are not built from brick and mortar, but from caring and respectful relationships. You understand that values like integrity, honesty, optimism, compassion, and empathy are what drive the world forward. Instead of getting stuck on what could have been, you redefined what will and can be by choosing this year's theme, Finding Beauty in Change. You selected the colors of a sunrise to symbolize the beauty of new beginnings and change, and the tiger lily for its sense of positivity, pride, and gratitude. You've had to take on challenges and responsibilities quite differently than previous grads, and for that, we commend you. Your agility in this moment of time will be a life lesson not forgotten. As you transition to McNally alumni, remember that you will always belong here. These words have never been more important than they have been over this past year and a half. We know that you have pivoted many times between in-person learning and then online learning, or that some of you needed to learn online for your final high school year. Remember, whether or not you are physically in this building, you belong here. McNally will always be your home away from home, your family who cares deeply about you. You've always belonged here, and you always will. You are what makes McNally great. So this is your world, and what you do with it is up to you. You have been given the tools to succeed beyond these walls, to choose your own paths of discovery, and your journeys will inevitably include both successes and setbacks. Part of being resilient is learning from our failures and mistakes and taking what we learn to become better, stronger, and even more courageous. You have proven that you are flexible, ambitious, and adaptable, and that you have the grit and tenacity to face the unknown challenges that come before you. To quote one of your own fellow graduates, "When I leave McNally, I think my legacy will be my ability to not avoid and dodge challenges, but to face them and overcome them." We have no doubt that you will. Yes, COVID has changed a lot of things for you. It has for all of us. One thing that will never change is how proud we are of you, the class of 2021. We hold you all in high esteem and adoration for your hard work, dedication, successes, and resiliency during these unprecedented times. You are by no means an ordinary class that blends in with so many others. Remember, green is the color of spring, and green can be cool, and green can be big like a mountain or important like a river. At the end, Kermit decided, "It's what I want to be." As young adults, you now determine who you want to be. As a tiger, you are nothing but the best, so be the best that you can possibly be. Show this world your stripes and be proud of where you came from and who you are as a person today. We wish you well as you attain your future dreams, hopes, and goals, and we can't wait to see you accomplish them all. You have definitely earned this moment, so cherish it deeply. Congratulations to all of you.
Good afternoon, McNally. I would like to first thank or congratulate all of the 2021 graduating class. It's been a privilege to spend time with many of you at the shop or the curling rink or maybe even on a ski trip. On to my job. Valedictorian is an academic title of success used for the student that delivers a closing farewell statement at a graduation ceremony. The delivery of the statement is called the valediction. At McNally, the chosen valedictorian is often the student with a high academic standing and an exemplary model of our school and district's values. In addition to the grade point average, the McNally valedictorian is selected on the basis of involvement in school life and other activities, engagement in local and other civic governance, and ongoing leadership and volunteer contributions within the school and community. The student upholds our motto of nothing but the best in his or her interactions on a daily basis. Traditionally, the valedictorian is the final speaker at the graduation ceremony before students receive their diplomas. So the valedictorian address generally is considered a final farewell to classmates before they pursue their individual paths after graduating. Let me share a little bit of what Corey has been involved with while he's been here. This year, he has served as a student senator for McNally with the Edmonton Public School Board. He's been a member of the school's band as well as the McEwen Youth Orchestra. He's represented both curling and cross-country teams as an exceptional athlete. Me to We fundraising events, Chinese cultural program, has been an academic tutor to his peers, grad committee. I have to add that he shared his musical talent for Feature Fridays, as well as coordinating the year-end video. Morning announcements as well. And if that wasn't enough, when COVID sent everyone home, he took it upon himself with the use of 3D printers to fabricate parts for personal personal protective equipment for healthcare workers. The opportunity for me to stand here and make this introduction of Corey is one of the highest honors of my career. That's how much I think of this young man. His friends, teachers, describe him as intelligent, passionate, compassionate, talented, and generous. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Corey Lee to the podium.
Parents, grandparents, siblings, friends, faculty, and graduates. Good evening. It's been common to hear phrases like, "we did it," or "we made it," in commencement ceremonies of the past. But this year, those words bring a deeper meaning. We are the first class in over a century to graduate high school after more than a full year of learning through a global pandemic. In fact, COVID-19 has been a part of our lives for almost half of our time in high school. A year and a half ago, we wouldn't have thought twice about hanging out with friends, attending a large family gathering, or giving someone a handshake or a hug. Given that schools in Edmonton almost always stay open through dozens of centimeters of snow and negative 40-degree weather, no one could have expected that we would be sent home for the remaining months of grade 11 and many parts of our senior year by something we couldn't even see. In spite of the countless hurdles and obstacles we've encountered over the last 13 years, this pandemic certainly being one of them, we did it. We made it. While this is a time for us to celebrate and be congratulated for our accomplishments, it is also a time for us to reflect on the last 18 years of our lives and thank the people that have supported us with unwavering dedication. To our families, who have always been on our side, nurturing us, encouraging us, and raising us up to who we are today. To our friends, who have always been there as reliable, relatable people that pushed us to do our best, supported us when we needed it, and could always make us laugh. To our teachers from all the way back to kindergarten, who have not only guided us through course material, but also challenged us to think critically, expand our imaginations, and pursue our passions. And to our many other school staff members who have diligently worked behind the scenes to support our learning, including custodians, who have continually kept us safe, particularly in the last few months. Fellow graduates, there is no doubt that it is because of these people that we have learned so much over the last 13 years. In social studies, we broadened our knowledge of world history, studied current events, learned to argue a point as well as listen to other perspectives. In math, we puzzled through the infinitely beautiful art of numbers, operations, variables, and functions. In English, we learned not only to read and write, but also to interpret, think, and feel. In science, we learned how the world works, from electrons, atoms, elements, and cells, to radiation, gravity, light, and the universe. And our learning has extended far beyond the core subjects. We have learned to be healthy and active in phys ed. We expressed ourselves creatively through the fine arts as we danced, acted, painted, and played instruments. We learned and applied hands-on skills in courses like construction, foods, and computers. And we challenged ourselves to see the world through a different lens by learning a new language. Along with all of this knowledge and experience, we've gained a variety of skills, which may prove even more valuable. By working with others, we learned cooperation and respect. After taking on heavy course loads, extracurriculars, and for some of us, work, we developed responsibility and discipline. It was our perseverance through challenges and failures that taught us grit and resilience. And it was through interacting with friends that we learned communication, humor, and some pretty pog slang. So today is where our high school journeys end. Instead of choosing our paths, we are now making them. And whether our next steps are to enter the world of work, pursue higher education, or take a break to figure out what we want to do, let us not forget the lessons we've learned in the last few years, and in particular, the past few months. Entering grade 10 as we watched the video of previous year's graduates walking across the stage at the Jubilee, not one of us envisioned our class graduating instead in our own living rooms. We had no idea that the world would soon be dealing with a situation that, even in our parents' and grandparents' lifetimes, only existed in fiction. Our lives have always had surprises around every corner, but this pandemic has highlighted a concept we are now keenly familiar with: impermanence. Times of joy will inevitably be broken by bad news. Success will always be followed by failure, and things as trivial as standing within 2 meters of someone or seeing someone smile can be wiped out in an instant. The good thing is, we have the capacity to persevere through such things, and this capability happens to be our grad theme this year: resilience. In the face of trying times, we can make it through. We have made it through. If we stay resilient, we find that challenges, failures, and COVID-19 measures are also impermanent themselves. Now, there is one type of impermanence that nothing can stand against, and that is, of course, the impermanence of life. This is a reminder I keep posted in my room. It's a calendar that has one box for every week in a 90-year life. Every Friday, I take a red Sharpie and mark a box off as a way to keep myself aware of time passing. As you can see, we filled in quite a few boxes already. So, fellow graduates, let's take a long, hard look at this chart with eyes wide open. It's up to each and every one of us to ensure that every single box that life affords us is lived to the fullest. We've been so lucky to have the support of our families, our teachers, our friends, so fortunate to have the knowledge and skills that came from achieving our diplomas. Now, as Mr. Torrey put it, we have to get out and do. We all have so much potential, so from here on out, let's resolve to do nothing but our best in everything we do, for time is too short to do anything otherwise. As the first line of a famous Chinese poem goes, 明日复明日，明日何其多, which means day after day goes by. How many tomorrows do we have? Best of luck in your tomorrows, class of 2021. Thank you, and congratulations.